So please mute your microphones until the Q&A segment, unless you're going to be one of the speakers. And the Q&A segment will take place in the final portion of the session. So let's get started. Okay, that's not moving forward. Oh, there we go. So yeah, so our agenda for this afternoon is some introductions, the NFA staff and our program chair and assistant program chair who are with us today, going over the purpose of the session, the application information and strategy, and the application process. So as I mentioned, I'm Executive Director Jenny Clark, and Convention Director Daniel Pozzebon. Are you here, Daniel? I think he's on his way. Membership Manager Melly Harrod.
Hello, everyone.
Office and Convention Associate Aidan Hensley.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
And Development Manager Nick Vanderlaan.
Hi, everyone.
So, and we also have our 2023 Program Chair, Ali Ryerson.
Hello, everyone.
And the Assistant Program Chair, Debbie McMurray. Who's here somewhere. So Ali will speak about her vision for the convention a little later. We also have one or two previous program chairs lurking in here, and if we need some extra assistance on past practices, they'll be happy to jump in. So yeah, first of all, the purpose of the session, to provide some data and details from the past and the expectations for 2023, review the guidelines, provide some tips and insights to help the with the application process. So we want you to be able to submit the strongest proposals that you can, and we hope that by going through some of these steps that we'll be able to help you with that. The application process itself is a little fiddly, and Millie has got it all figured out. She's going to show you that portion a little later. So we're going to share some information about how sessions are selected based on what we know in the past and what we expect for 2023, and provide some insights into the artistic vision for the convention, which after all is the central focus. And as I mentioned, Millie will guide us through the application process. So here's a rundown of some useful data. So the number of proposals that we receive can vary from year to year, and with all the interruptions of COVID, I'd say that 2022, and also being our 50th anniversary, was a little unusual. But in any case, we had about 400 proposals, and from 256 applicants, and as we'll discuss later, you can submit more than one. Of the 400 proposals, 198 were selected, and for many sessions, only a portion of the proposal was accepted. And this is important information we'll talk about in a moment. For 2023, we are estimating that we will receive approximately 600 proposals, and we'll select between 150 and 180. The number of sessions is based on how much space we have available at the convention location. And if you've been involved with the NFA and attended a convention, you'll know that there's a fairly complicated way that we figure out what space is available. And it's in a very short format description. It's based on the number of hotel rooms, guest rooms that we feel we can guarantee, and then we're provided with a certain amount of space. And we don't have too many options. We negotiate as much space as we can possibly get. And then we have a number of things that we always program, such as competitions, and we program proposals as part of the overall picture of the activities that take place. The deadline for submissions is Tuesday, October the 11th at 11:59 p.m. Central. Now, that's a Tuesday, obviously. And the office is closed Saturday, Sunday, and Monday is a holiday. So I strongly encourage you to make an early start, because if you need assistance from staff, we won't be around until Tuesday, and we'll be happy to answer any inquiries before or that weekend or on the Tuesday. Proposals are submitted through your member portal on the NFA website, and late submissions will not be accepted, unfortunately. NFA membership is required to submit a proposal. So if you're about to renew your membership, or you're new and you're going to start being a member, bear in mind that at the convention that we just had, the members voted to introduce a new membership rate, which is $20 lower than the regular membership rate. So if you're a lower income flutist and not a student, you'll be eligible for membership at the reduced rate. But that is going to be on our website and available in the next few days. So if you need to renew or start a membership, I encourage you to visit the website and check the rates in case you're eligible for the lower rate. The focus of your proposal may be performances, workshops, panels, or lectures. The Flute Ensemble Festival activities, that's for 5 flutists or more, have a separate application process, which we are not reviewing today. And the deadline for that application is November 16th. Each NFA member may submit up to 3 proposals, but they must each be in a different category. The categories are solo performance, alone with keyboard or electronics, and for this year, that could also be percussion or another instrument played by one musician. That yellow part is new this year. The chamber performance, workshop, lecture recital, or panel. And proposals submitted may not be commercial in nature. And if you've ever been to one of our conventions, you'll know that we do have some sessions of that nature, and those are from our commercial members who are exhibiting, and they purchase a session to promote their company and their activities, but that's not part of the proposal process. NFA committees may submit up to 5 proposals, and these are submitted by the chair of the committee. And if you've submitted your 3 proposals as an individual, don't worry about submitting more, because the system will know that you're a program chair, and it won't prevent you from submitting more than 3 proposals, because they'll be counted as a committee proposal. So tips and insights, I'm sure you've heard this 100 times, but start early. Give yourself plenty of time to create your strongest submission. Read the guidelines on our website carefully, and perhaps one of my colleagues could put that into the chat feed for the call for proposals page. And prepare the list of all the different materials that you will want to share. And you'll be either sharing links or uploading your materials, and Millie will be explaining how that works. But I encourage you to start early on working out what materials you want to submit, and start working with your collaborators early and gather all the bios as early as possible. And if you're working with a composer, make sure that you are in touch with that composer early, so that you can answer questions that you need to about any work by that composer that's relevant to your application. So these are some tips from my own experience as a grant maker, working with artists on how to submit their proposals, and also from program chairs who have consulted with in this process. So I recommend that your proposal must be clear and concise. Remember that the program chair will be reading approximately 600 submissions. Clearly state in the first sentence what you want to do. Explain what is unique and special about your idea and how it fits in with the theme. Remember, now this is an important point. Remember that you don't need to fill a whole program. Many accepted proposals consist of between 8 and 12 minutes of music. Programs are often stitched together from different proposals, so you don't need to program a whole proposal. And one example that was given to me was that a flutist might have 2 pieces that they really want to do, and then they add 3 more pieces just to fill the program. And then they stand the chance that one of the 3 would be picked and not the 2 that they really want to do. So I encourage you to really be focused and just propose the music that you really want to do. Accurate timings are important because the program chair wants to program as much music as possible and create programs that fit into the time slots. Another point that was mentioned to me was that if the music that you're proposing is not common in the repertoire, it's very helpful if you can provide some information about the composer and the piece and any context, such as if it was written in response to an event or anything like that. They would really like to know as much as possible in the space provided about that work. If you're proposing a project that involves a new commission work, the program chair will need to hear a sample of the composer's work, assuming that you don't have that piece available because it's not completed yet. So Ali might want to add something to that, but I think if you have some music that's in the same realm as the piece that's being composed, that is going to be very helpful. Your work sample is a very important component, so make sure you read the guidelines carefully and submit your best sample. That's another reason to start the application early so that you can get the recording that you're most comfortable with. For panels, workshops, and lectures, one former program chair said that the closer the panels are to the theme, the better. And that person preferred those that were not on topics that were frequently covered. Proposals that are more fleshed out were preferred. So for a panel, for example, who's going to be on the panel? What is their experience? What are they bringing to that discussion? What's the focus of the conversation? What are the outcomes? What are people going to come away with? Really dig into what the purpose of that panel is going to be, or workshop. So remember that the program chair has decided on a theme for the convention and is looking for proposals that interact with that vision. Read your proposal over carefully and make sure it would read clearly if you knew nothing about the content. It doesn't hurt to give it to somebody if you have a friend who knows nothing about what you do specifically. This will be helpful just to make sure that if you're not assuming a certain knowledge that somebody might not have. All proposals will be reviewed by the program chair and the assistant program chair, and they will consult with committee chairs if a proposal is beyond their area of expertise. And a note about technology. So if your project has technical requirements, add the details in the equipment section of the proposal. And I know that our convention director, Daniel Posabon, has joined us. So Daniel, if there's anything you'd like to add to that, now would be a good time.
Daniel's having connection issues actually, so he won't be able to rejoin us.
Okay.
But
Okay, not
just
to worry.
stress.
So I'll just give you a quick view of how that works. So if you have a proposal that has technology elements and you include those in your application, so those application, that submission will be read on the merit and in the context of all the different sessions. And then we will have certain rooms at the convention which are fully equipped. We don't move equipment from one room to another because it devalues the quality and adds to the expense. So we will have fully equipped rooms, and then proposals that require the technology will be placed and programmed into the rooms that can accommodate those sessions. So we have some tools available on the NFA website. We have a PDF guide to the online application, and we also have a video guide to the online application. And we have the video summary from the program chair. So now I'd like to hand things over to the program chair, Ali Ryerson, to provide some insights into the artistic vision for the convention. And I've included Ali's email, and Ali will be happy to answer any questions that you may have along the process. So I'm going to stop sharing now and hand it to Ali.
Thank you so much, Jenny. And absolutely wonderful and very, very helpful presentation. I learned a lot, and I'm so happy that you and Millie are doing this for the first time this year. I think this will become a very popular, repeated event, prior to or once the proposal portal opens each year. So thank you. So just a few words. When I was first asked to be program chair, my first assignment was to start envisioning what I would like my convention year to look like. This, of course, was a very fun part of this job. I soon zeroed in on my vision for Phoenix and came up with its theme, which is Beyond Borders. Now, as you all know, planning an event like this takes a village, which includes not only our terrific NFA staff and my wonderful assistant program chair, Debbie McMurray, who did get to join us here today from her hotel in Paris. Thank you, Debbie. But this village also includes all of you, the members of NFA. You're the most essential part of this village, in fact. You help make each of our conventions memorable and unique. So we're now asking for your help by submitting your proposals. Let's talk just a bit about how to craft your proposals and what I'm actually looking for as program chair. The theme of our 51st convention, again, is Beyond Borders. So start thinking about how you can contribute to the programming in a way that reflects or complements this theme and in a way that would contribute to the overall convention. This isn't just about proposing a favorite piece of yours that you've been dying to play at NFA, unless you present it in a way that connects it to my overall vision for Phoenix. Then go for it. A few words about the theme, Beyond Borders. I want to highlight the global nature of our flute family, its cultural and creative diversity. I want us to expand our horizons beyond geographical and artistic borders. As I wrote in my call for proposals, please design yours in the spirit of adventure. Paint outside the lines. Collaborate with someone unexpected. Let's surprise each other. Choose repertoire that represents all genres, from Baroque to bluegrass to bebop to beatboxing, from chaminade to Coleman, ragtime to ragas. And again, proposals featuring standard flute repertoire are more than welcome if framed in a way that reflects the convention theme, perhaps by pairing it with a contrasting work. Also think about weaving in multidisciplines like dance, visual arts, or theater, or possibly multimedia projects. And as Jenny told us, there will be designated rooms that are equipped with technology. One of my dream projects already in the works for Phoenix is the creation of the Zona Art Space, a designated space at the convention where we'll bring music, street art, architecture, Native American flute, and the Arizona landscape into our convention. Thanks to my recent road trip to Arizona with Brazilian videographer Lucas Wiglinski, we have wonderful footage of Phoenix's art district, Roosevelt Row with its larger than life urban murals, Frank Lloyd Wright, his Taliesin West, Scottsdale's amazing musical instrument museum, breathtaking views of Sedona and the Grand Canyon. All the film and photographs that Lucas captured will become the backdrop for performances and presentations in the Zona art space. It's my way of bringing the beauty of Arizona inside, creating a very special experience for performers and audience alike. So as we review your proposals, performance, workshop, and lecture proposals which relate to Arizona in some way or are submitted by Arizona-based flutists, these will be considered for the Zona art space. In Phoenix, we also want to shine a light on the younger generation of flutists, their teachers, and the various teaching methods which have proven successful in training these young artists in the making. To this end, we welcome performance proposals featuring outstanding young flutists, as well as workshop proposals inspired by the Suzuki method and the like. Please keep in mind that flute choir proposals are not to be submitted at this time. That will be a separate call for proposals with its November 16th deadline. So I hope this helps clarify what we're looking for in your proposals. We look forward to receiving them by October 11th, and we can't wait to see all of you next August in Phoenix.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ali. I think that's a really wonderful rundown of what the Phoenix focus is going to be. So that's really great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you, Jen.
So now I'd like to move to Millie Harrod, our membership manager, who is going to show us how to actually, the mechanics of how to submit your proposal and materials. And I can tell you that we've already received several. So it definitely works and it's not too bad. It might not be as bad as it sounds. So over to you, Millie.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. So I'm going to share my screen here. And if you have any questions, make sure you're writing them down and we'll answer them at the end as best as we can. So can you all see my screen? Yes. Thumbs up. Okay, great. So I'm going to start like if I was doing this from scratch. If I was going to submit a proposal, I'm going to submit a mock proposal. So first of all, we're going to go to our website, nfaonline.org. And we are going to log in to our portal or our profile, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to hit login up here. And I'm going to log into mine. Then it's going to reroute you back to the main page. We're going to click, it says welcome your name. We're going to hit profile. It's going to take you to your profile. Okay. So this is my profile. The first thing you want to look at is your membership status. So as you said, as Jenny said, you have to be a member to be able to submit. The system will not let you submit if you're not a member. Like you won't even have the option. So if you go under my membership, it should say your status, and if it says active, then you're good to go. It says when it's expired, the type of status, if you're active or a student, or as for me, I get a complimentary membership because I work here. Under my membership, that is where you can renew your membership if you need to activate it. So since I'm good to go, I'm going to go over here to events. So we're going to hit submit 2023 convention proposal. This will open up the application. So we'll go through every section. There's a couple sections that you need to fill out. So this top part is your personal information. So we've added this field to where if you have to add who the presenter or you might have a group that's presenting together, or a panel, the name, you might want to put it there. Or if it's just you, you would just put your name. And then the person who is submitting this, so let's say it is a group presentation, the person who's submitting this, you want to put their name, first name, last name, person who's going to be in charge of your application. We added a field for your pronouns and your phone number and an email. So make sure that this email, again, if you are the person that is being responsible for submitting as for yourself or for your group, that is an active email. We've had issues with that before, where somebody else in the group submitted and they didn't know, they didn't get the final email. So make sure that you will get a confirmation email. That's very important. So submit an email that that's going to work for you. And then we just need your city, your state, your country. And then again, if you're submitting through a committee, you want to put what committee is in this field, and you're going to have your select if you're doing individual or committee. So I'm going to go ahead and fill these in. Quickly. My phone number. Okay. I live in Lincoln, for those of you who don't know, Nebraska. Go Huskers. And I am submitting as an individual. Okay, so next, you're going to do your event information. So we're going to put a title. So I'm going to put, I've been doing this Mozart test. Let's say I'm going to be performing the Mozart, Mozart in G major, our favorite. Okay. And then we're going to select the category from this drop down. So I'm going to click solo performance, but you can click chamber, workshop, lecture recital, panel. And then there's a couple of these categories, and you can select multiple. So I don't know what mine would be. Performance, just performance. And we've actually added DEI as one of the categories. So, and this is really an interesting question. So we actually had a couple of events that were live streamed on our Facebook page at this past convention, and people really appreciated that. People who were not able to attend. And so if you want your if you would like your performance or presentation to be live streamed, you can click yes or no. I'm going to click yes. I'm going to put the length of the program, and this again, NFA might or might not pick every single part of your program, so we put that reminder in there. So I don't know, 20 minutes, I guess. We also ask that you give us a time, give us a ballpark on if you're doing technology or any setup of any kind, that you add how long that is going to take you. That's a new thing, but I think it's going to help us when planning these back-to-back sessions as to how long it's going to take you to actually set up your outside of what you're performing or your panel, how long it is. So, and then if you have an ensemble name. So next, we have a performer or presenter bios. In this section, please share information with us on who is participating in the proposed session. Begin with your personal bio, and then share the name, instrument, email of each additional performer accompanied by their bio. And we have some very specific guidelines. Our program book is very long, so we unfortunately cannot have long bios. Yes, so we're gonna do, I'm just gonna put my name. So it's required. And then as we keep scrolling, if you have other people with your presentation or who are performing with you, you add them and you add their bios. Make sure that you use the same guidelines for all of the bios that you are submitting. Okay. And then we have equipment requests. Please submit your requests now. There's lots of reasons why we need to know that information, but it's really important for us to know exactly what we need to rent, buy, what we have access to now as opposed to June. So I'm gonna put and there is if you have other equipment requests, there is a little other box for you. Okay, so actually I'm not gonna pick anything. Okay. And so if you're using any technology, let's say you're performing an electronics piece, if you could explain that to us, especially Daniel is not familiar with all the electronic flute works in the world. So if you could explain exactly, what you'll be using, the pedal or the feedback loop or, whatever, I think that would be helpful. If you have any accessibility accommodation requests after your proposal is accepted, please email Daniel, and so we know how to take care of that for you. Next, we have supporting materials. So there's a couple of different ways you can submit your supporting materials. It says preference is a recording of the proposer performing the actual work. When it's not possible, an example in a comparable style, genre, or historical period would suffice. For premieres or pieces not recorded yet, recordings of the composer's other works and or PDFs might be included. So you can, I think the preference is for you to put links in the form. That's going to be the easiest way for us to keep track. But then you will also get a link to Box, which is kind of like Google Drive, and submit your additional materials through that portal, and you will get that with your confirmation email after you submit. So you can do Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive. If you do, make sure that you link it and make sure that it has public access. We had issues with that last year where Aaron couldn't actually access the materials, and so make sure that you give public access for people to actually get into your files. So as far as I know, I think that's it. So I'm going to click submit, and then you're going to get this review page where you're just going to look through your information and see that it's all correct. Mine's all good to go. So you got to scroll all the way to the bottom and save changes. And you'll get this lovely screen that says your form submission has been received. So, but you're not done. You should have received a confirmation email. And actually, we're going to go home for a second. And I want to show you. So let's say you missed something. You can go back and revise your proposal. You can revise at any time before that October 11th deadline. So if you go to Convention Proposals Management, you'll see, I've actually done it twice already, but you'll see that I have a proposal in there. So yeah, you can, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, edit this record, and you can make any changes you need or you want on there. So I don't have any changes, but I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom, save changes, and it says your changes have been successfully updated. So again, we're going to go back to our profile. So in your confirmation email, you are going to, the system will create a proposal number for you. This proposal number is very important because that just memorize it and know it and write it down and don't delete the email. So I wonder if I can go to my email and show you what it actually looks like. I'm going to do that, I think. Okay, so I'm going to show you my actual. This is what it looks like. So it says, Millie, you've submitted a proposal, but you're not done yet. You have one more step. So my proposal number is, I'm going to write it down, 10575. Okay. So there's some instructions here for you. Please fill out and submit the works form using your convention proposal number. And then here in the second step is that link for you to submit your additional materials. So first, we're going to go back to this. So the next step is you're actually going to upload each individual piece that you will be performing or that you're submitting for the proposal. So you don't have to do this. We got some questions for this last year. If you're just submitting a lecture or a panel, you're done. You don't have to do this step. But if you're programming a recital, you have to go in and individually submit information for every single piece that you are intending to perform. I'm sorry that it's a two-step process, but that's how the system is set up, and trying to work on how to make it a little bit more streamlined next year. So we're going to go to submit 2023 convention works. And same type of form. So, and we're going to ask you some just general programming information. So my number, the first thing you need to put is my number. That's how the system is going to connect all of my forms, is based on that proposal number. Very important. And then we're going to do concerto D major. So we're going to do full name and then also first and last name. I know it's a little redundant, but it's just for us, the back end for us. It's easier if you do it twice. Okay, what are Mozart's dates? I don't remember. Does everybody know?
1756 to 1791.
Wow, thank you, Rebecca. Oh, 26. There you go. I'm gonna put international. I don't know what the correct edition should be, but arrangers, is it the work currently in print? Is it a world premiere? List all the movements that you'll be performing. You know, some people only perform the first movement, or, you know, etc. Your timing, ensemble description, ensemble name, the performers. And I just put a little note. So you will not receive a confirmation email after you submit this form. But there is a way you can go back and check that you've done it all correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and submit. Okay, again, we're going to get this review page. I'm going to look. Yeah, everything looks good. Save changes. So my form has been received. So we're going to go back home just to double check that it's in there. Go home. And then we're going to go to Convention Works Management, and it should be there. And if you view it, it has all the information and it's submitted correctly. It's going to tell you timestamp when I did it and everything. So you're good to go there. And if you want to submit additional materials through that box link, I'll show you how to do that really quickly. That's the last step if you would like to do that. So go back to your confirmation email. If you have supplemental materials, please upload them to Box, which click here. Here's a link. And we're going to put your number again, just so we link all of your materials and all your applications together. And then we're going to upload whatever file you need. And then you hit submit and you should be good to go. Okay, we have some
Wonderful.
questions. That's
Oh
it.
yeah, so I just well, thank you so much, Millie. That was really great, and it definitely doesn't seem as bad as one might think.